So hello VR addicts, welcome to my channel. I am Paolo Trianni and today we're going to talk about some topics as well as talk about who won the weekly random VR game giveaway. One of the topics I want to talk about is Xbox Phil Spencer, and I quote, VR is not the focus of Project Scarlet because Xbox fans ain't asking for it. I'm going to say this, like, I don't know why I look squished. I look thinner than I normally do. I don't know why. Maybe it's just this camera. I'm not actually using my GH4 here. I'm actually using a Logitech 930 that I have. I'm actually sat in front of my chair and I've got a pop-up green screen, which is fantastic. But anyway, let's talk about this subject a little bit here. And that was just a part of the quote that he wrote, because he did go on and say some other stuff that was a bit interesting. And like my cat, you see just a little bit of white just there. I don't know what she's doing. What are you doing, Lily? Anyway, so that one, there's just a statement there. VR is not the focus of Project Scarlet. Scarlet is just, you know, Scarlett Johansson. I mean, if Xbox was giving away Scarlett Johansson with every Xbox, then yeah, a lot of men would be probably up for that. But he says Xbox fans ain't asking for it. Is he just completely switched off? I mean, that is a big statement to say that no Xbox fans are asking for it. So is he just, I tell you what he's assuming. He's on the internet, la 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 la, and then he sees somebody going, I want VR for Xbox. He's like, ah, that's not a fan. Next one. I would love to see virtual reality come to Xbox. It could be quite easy as Microsoft have painted the Windows mixed reality. Oh, that's not an Xbox fan. So yeah, he's probably just like completely, I don't understand. Like, of course there's got to be an Xbox fan out there asking for it. There's got to be at least, you know, a good majority. I mean, obviously there's fanboys, and it is a problem. We had this with PlayStation as well, because I prefer PlayStation and Xbox on the PS4 myself. His Xbox One was a bit of a disaster, and I didn't get a 360. I had a PS3 because I got 10 of them given to me when I tried to have an eBay. Well, I tried to sell them on eBay, but I had Japanese versions before they were even released in the UK. But I had the original Xbox, and I said this year, I said like this generation that I was going to get the Xbox One because it was, you know, it's time to switch it up a little. But then that huge disaster at E3 kind of like, you know, just changed our minds completely. So, yeah, I didn't end up getting it. I went with the PS4 and I was happy I did. I mean, Bloodborne and, you know, God of War, and it's just so many good games, AAA titles on there. And I haven't touched it in about a year, if I'm going to be honest. I actually sold my PSVR because I don't touch it enough to use my PSVR. I'm just sticking with my PC stuff and the Quest at the moment. Until the PS5 maybe, and I definitely will end up getting a PS5, and I might even end up getting Scarlet, but I don't know, because us PC people, we can enjoy Xbox titles if there is ever one to enjoy, because I was in Sea of Thieves Alpha and Beta. I was in Sea of Thieves right from the beginning, and I really didn't enjoy it. And I don't know, there's not a title there that grips me, you know. So it'd be nice, you know, when they do get AAA titles out. But then that's another thing. They have to focus on that as well. You know, a lot of people think Phil Spencer's amazing. I think Phil Spencer's been, well, he's been good at turning around Xbox. I agree. But hasn't really brought out any AAA exclusives that have blown people's minds. He hasn't really thought about innovative ways. It's almost like Microsoft don't want to take any risks on it. AAA titles that they know could flop, like let's not, you know, even though Fable is coming out now, but they eventually ditched the studio and the original studio, and they were like very negative about Fable not coming, and they didn't want to take any risks, which was disappointing. And now they don't want to take any risks with VR, and then they're saying and they're saying something really preposterous. I don't know if I said that word right, because I'm getting really tired. That no Xbox fans are asking for it. Now, like I said, like with the PS4, one thing I noticed is that we didn't really, I wasn't asking for an external hard drive. We didn't ever need an external hard drive as far as I was concerned. I always could just change the internal hard drive. I could always make the space larger and larger and larger. So I didn't really need it. But that's not to say no one was asking for it. But I'm a bit kind of worried that, that the Xbox fans, the hardcore Xbox fans, the real fanboy fans that will slander PlayStation or even Nintendo or maybe even PC gamers, will say they don't need it because they're a little bit, because they're fanboys, Oh, we don't need it. What we need is just no AAA titles, no exclusive AAA titles. We don't need nothing new, because they did take a lot of risks at the beginning. This is the problem. They took a lot of risks with the voice thing and always having Connect on kind of type thing, and saying it would always be online and cloud gaming and stuff like that. What happened to cloud gaming? I mean, it was PlayStation that first brought out cloud gaming, ironically, with their PlayStation Now as well. But cloud-powered gaming is something that Xbox we might see with Scarlet at last. More. I know Titanfall claimed to have it, but I'm not sure about that. Anyway, so I'm not sure what this is all about, but it just seems to be almost like a stupid thing. Now, let me just hold on. Wait, I'm really friends with Shui. Hold on. Yo, Shui. Hey, Shui. No, I don't speak Japanese. Just speak English. No. Okay, yeah. Is it true that you made $2 billion on the PlayStation VR from digital game sales, physical game sales? Yeah, PSVR units. Yeah, we know that. And for the people buying PS4 Pros as well. Okay, just so they can play VR and all the other stuff like the aim controller and the move controllers and stuff like that, and the commissions that you get from third parties, and yeah, etc. Not exactly 2 billion, but close. All right. Thanks, Yuri. Yeah. So I'm not saying I was not talking to Shui there, but I was definitely talking to Shui there. Basically, there is a bit of capital. There is quite a bit of capital that Xbox department can take from VR, and there's less risks they could take. They could take the Windows mixed reality and let Samsung or Lenovo or HP or someone else take the risks in the VR headset department, so they don't have to worry about that. And then the devs will take the risks, developers will take the risks on the games, and then they just get the commissions for every game sold. So it's not so much of a risk. So why they're not doing this is almost very confusing, isn't it? Very much. It's almost like not everybody does. Some people are kind of delusional on the fact that VR is the future. People just want things to burn, and they just don't care that the fact that eventually we will be moving into a world of VR and AR and exciting promises of things that we just can't even imagine right now. I think that VR 1 is, Ready Player One, is where we can be, but I reckon we can go way beyond that, with AR and eventually like a holodecky kind of like scenario, and we can just keep imagining it and keep going. But if people are just willing to just not, just knock it out of the ballpark and say, screw it, it's dead, then they're just killing things. I mean, 3D TVs right now would just be blowing people's minds if it was still around. But no, they just give up on it. Let's just give up on it and let it die. It was a gimmick. It wasn't a gimmick. Trust me, it could have gone beyond the gimmick. You could have been like, you could have turned it on and something could have been right up in your face. It would have been very impressive. But yeah, that's the world we live in. People just let things die, and and good things can come out of it. If that happened with the smartphone, if Apple went, this is our new smartphone, and people just didn't pick it up, we wouldn't have smartphones today. Yeah, this is my smartphone with the parallax thing. So we wouldn't have smartphones today. We wouldn't have half the stuff today. I mean, it's starting electric cars. Electric cars could have been around ages ago, but it's just like stubborn people just don't want electric cars to be around. even though they're better in a lot of ways. Obviously, range isn't one of those ways, and charging speed is not one of those ways, but pretty much everything else is. I mean, 0 to 60, electric cars do it so good, and obviously, it doesn't create pollution. I mean, you don't have to believe in the environment, global warming and stuff like that, but you got to be a complete retard if you think that it's just flipping bubbles that come out the back of your flipping exhaust in a petrol or diesel car or gas car if you're from the US. No, that's pollution coming out of it. And years ago, that pollution used to harm a lot of people because there used to be lead in it, and now there's other stuff in it as well, and it's not good. It causes smog and all sorts. So yeah, it's always great. Yeah, I just got a message. So yeah, I think that Xbox is losing out huge here, and I will not be getting an Xbox if it does not have anything to show this year round, because it's not just about the stats. You can't just turn around and go, oh, it's got GDDR6 and it's got this new super processor that we've kind of got off AMD, and then we've kind of mixed it up ourselves, and we've added like flipping all this kind of crap and all that, and an SSD or an NVMe drive or whatever. No, you're going to need more than that. You're definitely going to need to press. It's the same thing with PlayStation, if I'm going to be honest with you. PlayStation's going to have to do pretty much the same thing. But then PlayStation's already said that they will carry on supporting the PlayStation VR, and all their titles should work on the PlayStation 5, which would be fantastic. And everyone's got their fingers crossed for the PlayStation VR 2, which would be fantastic. So this is another thing, right? He said it's isolating, and I think that games as a commercial kind of together experience we responded to other customers. So like, what's he talking about there? I mean, he's talking about like where you put this headset on and the world just shuts off around you. It's almost like he's talking about split screen, which not anyone does. I mean, you just ask all the people that are playing Call of Duty and Battlefield games and other shooters and MMOs, like Elder Scrolls Online, etc., like that on their Xboxes. They're shutting themselves off from the rest of the world, and they're doing it all online in multiplayer. So it makes absolutely no sense what he's saying on. As soon as you put that headset on, you can do the same thing. It has multiplayer. You can play with your friend who's probably got a headset too, across the other side of the world. You can talk to your Aussie. I'm trying to do an Australian accent. You can talk to your. I can't even be asked to try. You can talk to your Aussie mate down below, or your Chinese friend, or your Japanese friend, or something like that. And I've actually had all of them. Actually, no, I don't. Well, I don't actually have an Australian friend. Hit me up if you're Australian. We could be friends. So yeah, like, I can play with my mates in America, like for instance, and in Europe. I've lots of friends in Europe. So yeah, it's not isolating. It's just like when I'm playing like Call of Duty and all that, I'm always getting badgered on about how I'm not listening or I'm not being involved with the family. Putting a VR headset is not much different. I don't think it's any different in the isolating part of things. I don't know. But then it says games as communal. I don't know. Vast majority of our customers know if they want a VR experience, there's a place to get those. So basically he's just saying, yeah, don't come here, just go there. So like, this is Microsoft down to a T, isn't it? Ooh, we could make money. We could, we could then make digital game sales and get physical game sales and commissions, and we could pioneer this and become the leading in it. I said Microsoft Xbox, really, because it's the department, isn't it? And instead of doing that, they're just saying like, go get yourself a Quest, go get yourself an Oculus, or go get yourself a. They're basically saying, well, if you want that, then get yourself a PS4. Get yourself a competitor, which is what they're doing, Phil. It's what they are doing. They're buying those consoles because, one, they want their Bloodborns, they want their Last of Us 2 when it comes out, and their Death Stranding games, and their PSVR. There's lots of people with PSVR. I've got a mate who constantly contacts me about how much he loves his PSVR. I'm constantly saying to him, Pistol Whip will be out on it soon, and you should hit up Pistol Whip when it comes out on a PSVR. I don't think he's even played Blood and Truth yet. So I should tell him to play that as well. So Peter, if you listen to, I'm talking to you, Peter, buddy. And one of the things is like because SHEAWA responded to this saying that that he says we do stuff that sometimes our customers don't ask for, our fans don't ask for, or whatnot. And he kind of like replied with a very odd comment about like, yeah, we pioneered AR and AI and etc. like that. And I'm thinking, I think Microsoft pioneered some of that stuff, not Xbox really. And if we want to do that kind of route, then SHEAWA could come around and sort of talk about what Sony's pioneered, like, you know, the DVD, the Blu-ray CDs. I know they did that with other people like Pioneer. But yeah, they've done their stuff as well, especially in the film industry and in the optics industry as well for cameras. It's incredible, the optics industry. I mean, the Panasonic GH4 is got some decent sensors in it, probably because of Sony. You know, this Sony sensors are really good. Yeah, so yeah, I just think that Phil Spencer at Microsoft Xbox, you need me. That's what you need. You need somebody with a lot more imagination and a lot more spirit, because I don't feel Scarlet at the moment if this is the route they're taking. It's not just about the VR, it's about the risks they don't want to take, and this is not even a risk in my opinion. This is because VR this year has just exploded. It really has exploded, and it's doing a lot of work. Yeah, the numbers might not look great to a lot of people, but you know what I mean? If Microsoft is not going to do that, then, you know, if Xbox, should I say, is not going to do that, then, you know, they're just going to get late. Like they did this with the mobile phones, didn't they? They didn't jump on the mobile phone wagon, the smartphone wagon, and then they left that too late. And then by the time they actually wanted to do it, it was too late. It was too late. So yeah, that's my rant about Xbox. I think Phil Spencer needs to pull his head out of the sand and get back to reality. If he doesn't, then, you know, I'll do the job. It'd be a piece of piss compared to the mess they've made already. I could just dance in my underwear for about 6 hours, and I bet £1 million I'd sell more Xboxes. So yeah, very disastrous. Because you just got to ask yourself, if they're not going to do VR, which is less of a risk than some of the stuff like cloud gaming, that's a huge risk. I mean, if they want to do that, that's a massive risk. I mean, some companies have just gone absolutely into administration trying to do streaming services, which is pretty much what they're trying to do as well. So, you know, there's so many streaming services that just ain't been accessible as Netflix or Amazon Prime and Hulu, whatever you get in the US, and Now TV, etc. So yeah, you know, it's very risky business, and you got Stadia now, and you by Google, and you know, just look at the crap that's hit there. I mean, I was very skeptical about Stadia, because I already know about the latencies. Because PlayStation Now is the pioneer of that. You know, talk about pioneering. I mean, the PlayStation Now, when you first played that, sometimes it was just latencies. There was just latency issues, and that wasn't even 4K. You know, so what Google's trying to accomplish is almost a miracle. So you know, you got to question yourself. Xbox actually going to risk that, but they can't risk VR? It seems crazy. When I'm looking up like this, by the way, I'm actually looking at my other screen. So anyway, let's change the subject, because yeah, this is kind of like, I think this gets people a little bit kind of angry, and I don't mean to rant about this, but yeah, it's kind of a bit of assault, isn't it? So yeah, the other subject is Boneworks. Boneworks is actually coming out on the 10th of December. I believe it's the 10th of December. And it's a very hyped game, and the weirdest thing is I've tried to be a bit more critical of the game, but as it gets close to the 10th of December, I am so hyped to want to play it. So I'm one of its biggest critics, but at the same time, I'm also really hyped to play it. I'm so looking forward to playing this game, because I know that it's going to be fun. But I kind of wish it was more. I wish it was co-op at least, you know, so you could just piss around with your friend or whatever and enjoy it. So let's hope the storyline's good. At least in it, but we're not actually sure. But if it's not, then we'll be like enjoying those physics regardless. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. So the 10th of December, Boneworks, very good. Not long now. Next topic. That's not what I'm. Boiling Steel. Now, Boiling Steel has actually been in beta. I tried the beta and I tried the alpha, and if you want to see that video, it will be up there when it, like above my head. And Boiling Steel is now actually coming out, so everyone can actually buy it and play it. I don't know if it's going to be early access or not. I could check to see if it's going to be early access or not. Maybe it will tell me. Yeah, it will. I think it'll be releasing as an early access game. From what I've played of Boiling Steel already, though, it is absolutely amazing game. And it's coming on the 5th of December, and that's going to be competing. I think another game's coming around about that time as well. Yeah, so Boiling Steel, I think this is going to be a great game for a lot of people. It's probably, I'm pretty much sure it's an indie title. I'm sure it's probably only got about one developer. It might have it's definitely got a small team of developers. They did Guns and Stories Bulletproof, I believe, which I haven't actually played, but Boiling Steel I've actually played, and I am looking forward to this. I do have a key for this, so I will be making another video on it shortly, in fact. But this is the 5th of December, so yeah, 5th of December you'll be able to play Boiling Steel. Absolutely amazing. You should probably get this tile. Next one is Nostos. Now, Nostos, I don't know. The interesting thing about this game is that it doesn't look ready to be coming out. It's going to come out as an early access game as well. I need to keep thinking you're there and not there. It's coming out on the 6th of December, which is really 4 days away. It's not very far away. It's a cross-platform multiplayer. A lot of people say they think it's an MMO. I heard somebody say that today, and you know who you are. And that's because originally it did say it was going to be an RPG MMO. I'm sure it did. I'm not hallucinating that. I mean, unless I've just, unless the Mandela effects just happened, I'm sure it said that, but it's not anymore. It's just a cross-platform multiplayer. Nostos is coming out on the 6th of December, and yeah, it's not going to be an RPG MMO. I'm not even sure if it's an RPG anymore. Jeez, it doesn't even say RPG anymore on the Steam listing. But yeah, we've seen some videos of this, and it doesn't look like it's ready, but it is coming out as an early access, so it necessarily doesn't have to be ready. But I don't want to play something completely broken, and I don't think anyone else does neither. But it's also going to be a flat game, like I said, so the flat game's probably working fine, and the VR game, well, we don't even know if it's going to be available. It doesn't really say, but it's acting like it's available. But it'd be really annoying if you bought it, wouldn't it? And I think it's going to be pricey as well. So yeah, that's Nostos. That's the 6th of December. So, and we've got Budget Cuts as well. Budget Cuts, I believe, is the other one that's on the 5th of December, right? I'm not sure. Let me type this in. Right, so we've got Budget Cuts 2, and no, this is 12th of December. There is something else on the 5th of December, I'm pretty sure there is, but I haven't got all the games listed here. I've just got some of the ones that I'm looking forward to, for sure. Because, I mean, Nostos, I might have just digged it a little bit there, but if Nostos does that right, that would be an amazing game, I reckon. And I'm so looking forward to hoping that's an amazing game, and I really want it to be an amazing game. Budget Cuts 2. Budget Cuts 1 was a really hyped game that let a few people down when it came out, and then it did get better. And some people think it's an alright game. But this is actually... Neat Corporation has also got Fast Travel Games working on this, and Fast Travel Games are not tiny, and they're probably going to do a great job. So this is probably going to be much more better than Budget Cuts 1. It's going to be an absolute amazing game. Budget Cuts is coming out on the Quest eventually as well, the original one, if it's not already there. But yeah, this is going to be available on the 12th of December. So yeah, another really, really interesting games, and I've got a few people who on my friends list that want this game. Actually, I'm going to put it on my wish list. Oh, it's already on my wish list. I already have it on my wish list. Okay, so that is some games for December. Just some of them, not all of them. But I just wanted to add some games in here amongst my rants, and I'm going to go back to. I'm going to go back through the list here. I'm going to go back to Xbox, but that looks a bit blurry, that. And that's like a different background. So we'll stay on Boiling Steel, because Boiling Steel is a pretty kick-ass name as well, isn't it? Boiling Steel. So anyway, like this week's competition winner, I've already pulled I've just pulled a name out of the hat. I didn't do a second place this time, and I'm not going to do a coin drop. There was quite a few this week, and it wasn't just on titles this week as well. I had people commenting on videos that are a lot older, and I kind of felt that I didn't specify that it had to be just this week, so I kind of felt bad, so I've added them into the draw as well, due to the fact I didn't specify it. That means that, you know, it's not right fair. So there's quite a lot of people that commented on my videos, and I drew out the hat. The winner is, drum roll, that's the symbol there. South Memphis. Well done, South Memphis, for winning the weekly random VR game key. Now, South Memphis, if you want that key, you have to email me. You can find my email on my YouTube channel, About Me. Go to the About Me part, you'll see my email. Email me asking for the key, and I will give you a list of keys that I have, and you can pick one of those keys. It is random. Normally I just give out a random key, but at the moment I'm actually giving people some choice to pick which one they want. So well done, South Memphis. South Memphis. Do you live in Memphis? It's interesting. Somebody said like one of my American accents sounded like it was from Memphis at one point. I bet it's not. So anyway, congratulations, South Memphis. You get a random VR key. So don't forget to hit up that email. Email me as soon as you can. Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be a great December. Bit disappointing from Xbox. It kind of like, I think somebody said that it just knocks you back when you've got some backwards thinking like that, you know. It's like somebody doing a video that says VR is dead, you know, just for clickbait, you know, because we've seen Linus do VR is dead, and I love Linus, Sebastian, and I think his channel is brilliant. I've always supported him, even when he did NCIX, and he does VR is dead now and then sort of says why VR isn't dead. You know, it's almost like it's clickbait, yeah. But when it's not clickbait and it's you know, it's somebody who really does think VR is dead, sometimes it's a bit of a knockback. You know, you just think, oh, the world is a little bit kind of, you know, it's just a bit messed up, isn't it? It just doesn't want innovation to thrive. You know, it just wants to knock it down and knock it back, and it's a bit of a shame. So anyway, my rant is over, and again, congratulations to South Memphis, and yeah, if you like this video, please give me a like. If you want to subscribe, please subscribe, because it goes straight to the heart. Hit the bell button if you want to watch more VR content like this, and leave a comment if you also want to be in next week's competition. It starts from the time you actually see this video, so you can leave it in this video and you'll be counted in. You have to do all 4 things though, so yeah, give me a like on the video. On a video. You didn't have to give me a like on a whole week's videos, but you know, you can do if you want to, but you don't have to. And also, yeah, subscribe, hit the bell button, and leave a comment on one of the videos through the week. I specify it is the week, but if you do leave it on any of the videos, then I will try to add you in, especially as there is a lot more this week, but there's not a lot more compared to what other people get, you know. So some people get tons, and if it gets to the point where I get lots of comments, then it will be just the week. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I love you long time. Ciao.